Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I have a fun video planned out. I would like to swatch out my 3 Nabla palettes. So I wanted to do this because I just recently purchased these and I haven't yet gotten a chance to test them out or swatch them or anything yet. And Nabla is now coming out with a new palette, so I just thought this would be a really good time to do this video and just kind of see how I like Nabla's formula. So I'm just going to be swatching out each of the palettes, and the 3 palettes I have here are Dreamy, Secret, and Poison Garden. And I'm not planning on doing any looks or anything in this video, but if there is a palette out of these 3, or if you want to see all 3, a look from all 3, let me know down below, and I will be more than happy to create a look with one or all of these palettes. So if this video interests you, then keep on watching. So on top of my pile here, we have the Nabla Dreamy palette, and this packaging is so cute. The packaging on all of these is so pretty. And then here is what this one looks like on the inside. So this just has a really beautiful color story. It's right up my alley. These more purpley shades, especially the purple matte right here, are just ones I enjoy using on a daily basis. So I am super excited to have this palette in my collection and to swatch it for you all today. So starting right up here, we have the shade Immaculate. And it's beautiful white shade, white gold. It's very beautiful. That's going to be a really nice inner corner shade right there. Next up we have Illusion. It's a classic brown transition shade. These are swatching effortlessly. That's really pretty. Next up, we have this shade right here. I don't know how to pronounce all of the shades in these palettes, so for some of them, I'm not even going to try, but if you would like to tell me how to pronounce them, please do. But this one is one I'm super excited for. It's like a orangey, pinkish, gold shade. I think it is stunning. And then we have Delirium. It's a dark purple shimmer. This one is a little bit more of a drier, chunky formula, not as nice as the previous shade swatched, so that one will be interesting to use on the eyes to see how it actually performs. Alright, next up we have the shade Byzantine. That is a beautiful bronzy type shade, super pretty. And then Sistina, another nice matte shade. These mattes are swatching so nicely. Usually in palettes I have to build them up 2 or 3 times, but these are just right off the bat pigmented. Next we have Metal Cupid. These are stunning. Oh, I'm so happy I'm swatching these out. Alright, next up we have Inception. That is that shade right there. That seems to have a little bit of a shift to it as well. Super, super pretty. And then we have Senorita. This color story is just so pretty. And then we have Rose Gold. Beautiful once again. And then we have Lullaby, which is one of my favorites in this palette. Just this matte purple shade is one that I love to use. And finally we have Dogma. So here are all of the shades swatched out. I think they are so pretty. The only shade I had a little bit of trouble with was this Delirium shade, but that one wasn't really one that caught my eye in the first place anyway. But swatching these out makes me so excited to use this palette. They all seem super pigmented and I'm just so excited. This color story as well, like I said, is right up my alley and I am just so excited I know I've said that so many times, but it just looks like it's going to be a really beautiful one to use on the eyes. Alright, so the next palette up I have is the Secret palette. And once again, super pretty packaging and gorgeous color story. So I'm super excited about this one. It was between this one and the Dreamy palette that I was the most drawn to. So I really hope this has the same effortless formula as the Dreamy palette did. So let's just get right into the swatches. So the first shade we have here is Aesthetic. And this is just a nice shimmery brown shade. It's a little bit cooler toned and it's super pretty. Next up we have Contigo. Yeah, this definitely has the same formula as the Dreamy one, at least for swatches. That's super pretty. This one has a bit of a pink undertone to it. That's super pretty. It looks a little bit more brown in the pan. Next we have Big Experience. This one is bright pink. That is super pretty. I don't know how often I'll get use out of that, but that is a very pretty shade. Alright, next up we have this light matte pink here. Just a nice little baby pink shade. Super pretty. And then we have Romeo, which is a little bit of a warmer, darker brown than Aesthetic was. But once again, super pretty. This first little section here would make a really nice neutrally pink color story. Next up we have Play Hard. This one is a little bit chunkier of a formula, but has a really pretty greeny reflect to it. I hope that's picking up on camera. That's really pretty. And then we have Rosemary. The shade looked super pretty. I love a good dark green shade like that. And then we have Addiction. Beautiful. I'm really curious to see how this blue shade performs on the eyes. I feel like blues are often harder to formulate and harder to use, but that swatch was so pretty and effortless, just like the more neutral mattes was, so I'm excited about that one. And then we have Fantasize, which is again a little bit of a chunkier formula, but it still swatches out pretty nicely. Next we have I Promise. This shade looked super cute, just a nice light pinkish shimmer. That's going to be really nice for every day, either in the inner corner or all over the lid. Then we have Hypersensual, another more chunky one. This one has a bit more of this chunkier formula. A few of the shades have felt like that, which I prefer the finer shimmer formula, but they do swatch out pretty nicely still. Alright, next we have this warm brown matte shade right here. Beautiful, of course. Then we have Creation Crown. Those two will pair really nicely together. Those are really pretty. And finally, we have Nabla. More. And that is a really pigmented black shade. So here is the color story of this palette. Once again, super pretty. I really like this one because it does have a few more pops of color, like these middle blue-green shades. So I am super excited about this one as well. And once again, the formula of swatching these was really nice. Like I had mentioned with a few of the shades, some of the shimmers were a little on the chunkier side, but they still seem to swatch out pretty nicely. And I am very excited to use this one on the eyes as well. Alright, the last palette up here is my Nabla Poison Garden palette, and I am obsessed with this packaging. And then here is what this color story looks like on the inside. So once again, a beautiful mixture of shades, This one's a little hard to show with the gold packaging, but it is super pretty, and once again, super excited to get this one swatched out. Alright, so starting right at the top here, we have the shade Zodiac, and this one is a nice dark black shade, super pigmented once again, super pretty. That was a bit of a messy swatch there. Next up we have Fabric. This one looked so stunning. Oh, that one is going to be a beautiful one to just throw on the lid for an everyday look. I'm so excited about that one. Next up we have Adoration, and this one has a bit of a purpley blue shift to it and is once again kind of that chunkier shimmer formula, but that'll be pretty for the inner corner. It's a really unique shade. I hope that shift is picking up on camera. Next up we have Berry Bite. Ooh, that is so pretty. These shades are swatching out just so beautifully. So next up we have a dark brown shade. Just so pigmented. I hope this translates on the eyes, because these shades just swatching out are so pigmented and effortless, and I really enjoy it. Next up we have the shade Zen. A nice classic crease shade. And then we have Craving. That one's pretty. Alright, then we have Honey. A more orangish transition shade. Alright, next up we have Subliminal, and this is once again kind of that chunky shimmer formula. I feel like you can just tell looking at the palettes which ones are going to have this more chunky shimmer formula. And once again, not my favorite, but it did so swatch out really beautifully. Next up we have this shade, which is a little bit more of a brownish toned shimmer. I feel like there's hints of like pink and purple in there as well. There's a little bit of shift to the shade, but it definitely has like a brownish type base to it. And then we have Rosita, which is beautiful. Just a nice light pink shimmer. Going to be super easy for every day. Next up we have this matte blue shade, which I have heard isn't the best, but that swatch is stunning. And then we have the shade Narrative. Super classic brown shade. And then we have Opera. Very nice. And finally we have Canvas. And that is this color story. So here is this color story all swatched out. Once again, beautiful. I am so excited to use this on my eyes as well. The mattes in these palettes are so soft and easy to swatch out, and most of the shimmers are the same way. So I am just so excited about all of these palettes and getting them on my eyes as soon as I can. So those are all three of my Nabla palettes swatched out. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy this style of video, please let me know. I really enjoy seeing these swatches of different palettes. I think it's so fun to see just the whole color story swatched out and how the shades actually look, because a lot of shades I feel like have some different shifts to them, and it's just nice to see what they look like all swatched out. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy, and let me know, 1, what else you would like to see from me in general, and 2, if you would like to see any dedicated videos with any of these palettes. I will be more than happy to create a look or two with these palettes. I think they are so beautiful, and I'm so excited to get them tested out on my eyes. So if that interests you, please let me know. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And with all of that said, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!